In the Bronx, a sneaker skirmish outside a Foot Locker. Two young women pulling hair, fists flying, wrestling in the street. In California, this shirtless man was beaten at a finish line. Apparently, the brawl was over the last pair of these. Air Jordan 11 Retro Gamma Blues. The violent outburst coming as thousands of anxious and occasionally desperate people across the country flock to stores in search of that one specific pair of sneakers.
All right, folks, so welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show on this day after Christmas. Did you get your Air Jordan sneakers? Your Nike Air Jordan sneakers? You know, when I was a kid, it was Puma Clyde. Walt Clyde Frazier of the New York Knicks. Puma. I don't even know if Puma's still around, but I'm sure our next guest could tell us all about that. But this is insane. And we've seen this time after time. And here's one of the ironies, or one of the sick points. I could have predicted this was going to happen. They were talking about how Obamacare folks were going to be out canvassing these lines, trying to get these young people to sign up for Obamacare while they're in line for Air Jordan. Or they couldn't sign up then, but, you know, they're giving them paraphernalia and telling them how important it is to get Obamacare. Yeah. Could you picture them going home and signing up for Obamacare? Anyway, joining us right now is Yale Shalk, managing editor of the sneaker craze website counterkicks.com. Hey, Yale. Welcome.
Hey, Steve.
Glad you're aboard.
Pleasure to be with you.
All right. Well, all right. So first of all, counterkicks.com. You know everything about sneakers, correct?
I would like to think we do.
Okay. So what is the appeal of this Air Jordan? It's not, I keep saying Air Jordan, Nike Air Jordan. I mean, the guy is a legend, but he doesn't even play anymore. He's certainly not in the spotlight anymore. Why do Air Jordans keep bringing this kind of, you know, violent reaction?
Well, this shoe in particular, the Air Jordan 11, first released in 1995, which, as you know, that's the year Michael Jordan came back to the league and took it by storm again, and his popularity was sky high at the time. And it's sort of the shoe that sort of defined his career, defined his greatness, and people really picked up on that. And it's something that's really carried over the years.
Okay, and so, but 95. I mean, we're talking almost 15 years. We're talking 18 years or so. So, how does what's the staying power of this sneaker?
Just the sort of aesthetic appeal of it. You know, with the patent leather, it really stands out. But also, I think over the years we've seen the sort of sneaker blog scene and social media has grown so much that. You know, nearly every kid is paying attention to these things and wanting to know what the hottest sneaker was, what's the sneaker that has the most status, and that's really what it comes down to. It's something that's become sort of this aspirational product that people want to be a part of.
Now, Yale, from what I understand, these stores purposely understock, and you know, to get this kind of popularity. I guess they figure it's worth risking the fights, the brawls, the shootings, the stabbings, whatever, as long as the popularity or the word gets out that these sneakers are so popular, people would fight for them. Is it true that they purposely understock and they know that they're going to have much more demand than they will supply?
Well, that kind of really starts with Nike. For this particular release, they produced about 500,000 pairs, but they know that they will sell through every single one of those pairs. And there's, of course, the demand can never meet the supply. They could produce 5 million pairs, and they would all sell. But it really comes down to just as a comparison. A couple years ago, Nike CEO Mark Parker said that the LeBron 8 shoe had sold 500,000 pairs over the course of 1 year. And here you have an old Air Jordan shoe that, from, like you said, a player who has not played in over 10 years, not in the public eye, but his shoe is selling 500,000 pairs in literally 1 day in a matter of minutes.
And what we're talking to Yale Shalk, managing editor of the sneaker craze website counterkicks.com here on the Steve Malzberg Show. What do these go for? Well over $100, right?
Yes, $185 retail.
$185. So these people in these, you know, in the Bronx, in California, and kids, and they're waiting online, carrying, in most cases, I guess, $200 or more cash to buy these sneakers.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes, sometimes they're looking to buy multiple pairs, or there's people in line to buy the shoes strictly to resell them on eBay.
Well, that was my next question, because on eBay then they go for even much more, right?
Hundreds of dollars. It can get up to 4 and 5 and 6 times what the retail price is.
All right. Well, that's insane. So let me ask you this: do these become collector's items? In other words, would people keep them in mint condition, not wear them? I don't know, for some reason, maybe they figure they'll sell them in 5 years, or just never sell them and collect them. Do people collect these, or like I said, keep them on a shelf for years to come, and then in hopes of the value going up? And does that ever happen?
Some people do buy it strictly for collecting, although usually the shoes people tend to hold on to are some of the original colorways that they reissue. This Gamma Blue colorway was just a colorway that Jordan Brand created specifically just to release this Christmas. So it really depends person to person, but some people do hold on to them.
All right. Well, so where are we with this right now? I mean, we saw the initial offering. Is Nike going to stock the stores now in the aftermath of this, and they'll be easier to get, or is this kind of like a rush the store kind of thing, and then they go away? I'm sure there'll be more in the stores, right?
Well, for this particular release, I mean, the pairs that have been allotted to the stores are gone, and Nike generally does not restock.
Really?
These sorts of releases. They make their money. They print their money. It's like their own U.S. Treasury, really. They really print their money from these releases, and once they're gone, that carryover hype sort of starts building once more for the next release. That's
sad, because then they really force this kind of a thing to happen. I mean, not that I excuse it, but they force these kids, if they want these things, to be on these lines and have a sense of desperation, right?
Well, it's interesting because Tinker Hatfield, who's the gentleman who designed the Air Jordan 11 and designed many of the most sought-after Air Jordans over the years, has said that he and Michael Jordan and Nike feel very badly about what they see going out on in culture, but they don't feel directly responsible.
Right,
for
not badly enough. Well, I understand they're not the ones doing the fighting, but they certainly might want to remedy it a bit. Hey, Yale, thank you. Yale Shalk, managing editor of counterkicks.com. Thank you very much for coming on. Folks, we're coming back much more ahead. We're going to talk about, guess what we're going to talk about? Duck Dynasty on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.
The Steve